There's like no flavor to it. No flavor. And there's no crisp to it. It just gets just soggy potato. Essentially soggy hash browns. Not good enough to even finish. Oh, TV's laggy today. No, it is not working. It's not working. It's not working. uh, no. No.
Are you sure?
Yeah. I'm live.
Oh. Okay, well, I'm glad you didn't say anything to get yourself canceled.
Yeah, me too. Thanks. Hi, Steven. Hello, everyone. Welcome in. It's today, and you know what? If you know us, you know what today is.
What's it weird in the middle of the screen?
It does that all the
There
time.
it goes.
Hi, Teke.
Hello, boys.
But yeah, you guys know what day it is. We don't really have to tell you, right? Because, like, we all saw the ban list.
It's
You know-
ban list day.
You know what's coming. You know what's coming.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, it's time for Cam to talk about how right he
I
was.
know. I was
That's
so
lit-
right.
It's literally what I just posted on Twitter.
I'm
or
so
X
right.
or whatever it is. That was my post. We're gonna listen to how right Cam always is.
Yes,
Unfortunately, Cam didn't get all the clips of him telling us how right he is.
I'll get around to it. Oh, shit. Gotta turn our light on.
Oh yeah, we're a little dark.
Looking right at it.
And can confirm with the testing that we've been doing. She's all right.
She's okay.
She's all right. She's playable now.
Feels alright.
She's playable now. It's not wild.
I'm not like literally throwing by bringing her to a tournament. She feels okay.
Yeah.
She's like alright.
Yeah. It's like bringing Rye to a tournament.
Yeah, and like I do that all the time. So now I just get to bring the cute one. You all get the information that when I sit down in New Jersey, you know what I'm playing. Maybe you don't know the flavor though.
Yeah.
You know,
We're not going to tell you the flavor.
we're working on the flavor.
It's
but
Norm.
You know who will be there.
It's Norm and Astra.
There's 2 huge reasons to play Arizona, everybody,
Yeah, and
I love them both equally.
Yep. It's the same 2 reasons why I wanted to play Tristan and Nico.
Yeah, they have many more reasons though. And Ari has 2, 2.5. Polaris is the half.
Okay, I was going to say, what's the half?
Oh man, I feel kind of like sick today. You know, I have a rumbly tummy today. Gotta eat some food, but first I gotta tell all of you people out there that you can take. Basically, I think from now on, Steven,
Everything we say is gospel.
we should just deal in absolutes.
Yeah.
You
We
know?
are Sith. We
And
only deal in absolutes.
We're always right.
right.
So,
Every
like,
single time.
This is just, you guys should consider Lineage Break your like weekly breaking news because
Right.
it's always correct. So you
Right.
like might as well just,
Tune in.
hang your hat on it.
I'm just saying. In Lineage Break, we trust.
Yeah, we're gonna get dollars made. It's in Florida. Again, I don't have any information, but since we're dealing in absolutes,
we are dealing in
it's
absolutes. It's in Florida, in Teke's backyard.
Yeah. I don't know if that's true, but we're always right. So
Yeah.
I think it's in Florida.
If it is in Florida, Teke, are you going to?
Are we staying at your house?
Yeah, you're gonna let us stay at your house
Would be pretty cool.
or
Slumber party.
slumber party?
I hope you have a twin bed. And
Open
we
mouth
can all
kisses.
fit into it.
Open mouth kisses only.
Open mouth kisses in the twin bed. I don't care. We don't need extra beds. You have yours.
Is one of those leak because like
That's small enough.
yeah, that's small.
Smaller the better. but
I'm a
that's
big
small
guy.
enough.
You can see. I'll take up a lot of that room.
I don't want to be feeling any mattress, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, just dude.
Only dude. I just want it to be all dude. You know, so when we turned on the stream today, I clicked the wrong button because I'm in like the fog today. And so you guys heard Steve telling me that the TV is not working. And I was like, oh, Steve, don't say something to get yourself canceled. But like what we say when we're sitting at the table is always much worse than what we say before the show
I was
starts.
yelling about the TV not working and how much my burrito sucked.
Yeah, that's a shame. I mean, I could have expected it. but it
I
is
should
a
have
shame.
expected it. I should have just got the donut and I would have been happier.
Yeah.
It
Well,
would have been cheaper too.
gotta try it. Gotta live vicariously through you. Yes, one is like, great. We can use Jesse's bed too.
Right.
Like, like whatever.
Jesse has a bed, right?
Right.
Perfect.
Great.
I love all of those people except for other roommate.
No, I love another roommate.
I don't know
that guy's fucked.
I don't know who another roommate is.
He goes crazy.
But I love Jesse and Jordan. They're great. I had a great time with all three of those guys in Vegas.
Mm-hmm. And we'll see you at Florida Ascent.
Walking around looking at actual dead bodies, that was cool.
Sounds a little deranged when you say it like that, but that's okay. Do we have anything else to talk about today, or just like gushing about Polaris? Because I don't know how long I can gush about Polaris.
We got some newsy news, right?
Yeah, I mean, the Brissa is real.
Brissa's cute.
We got the new Path Silver thing.
Yeah, that's cute.
That's it.
Yeah.
This Favorable Winds reprint
Has Kong Ming on it.
has Kong Ming on it. We got our spoilers. We can not talk about that, but we can talk about that.
Yeah.
They're cool.
They are neat. Cam
We like them.
Cam did pull a 180 on me though. He got me. Got me good.
Yeah. We can talk about that. That's not spoilers. It's only about the spoilers.
Yeah.
We
can talk about Linkin Park.
I know.
and their
Did
new
you watch?
singer.
You watch the thing?
I did not watch
yesterday?
it. I did not
She's
watch
pretty
it.
good, man. She's pretty good. I mean, like nobody's gonna be Chester. Right?
Also,
But, like, she's
there's
pretty
actually huge breaking news that came out yesterday.
good. Yeah.
Anna Delvey.
I don't know who that is.
She is the fake German heiress that they made that Netflix documentary about,
Okay.
docu-series about.
Mm.
She was
She's
a
single. I'm looking to mingle.
well, no. So the whole thing was she frauded like a bunch of banks and hotels,
Yeah.
and was like living as an heiress, but had no money.
Mm.
So she got arrested for it. Like we're talking like millions of dollars,
Nice.
and she got arrested for it. But she got let out of prison through COVID on house arrest. She's on Dancing. She was announced to be on Dancing with the Stars.
That's like the
Yesterday?
the definition of fake it till you make it, right?
Like
quite
literally.
literally. She's a celebrity for faking
oh
it.
God, it's so funny.
That's how it
She's
goes.
still on house arrest, but she got approval to be on Dancing with the Stars.
Mm.
And the promo picture of her, she's wearing the fucking monitor, the ankle monitor. It's
That's
so
really good.
good.
That's a look. Fake it
Oh
till you
God,
make it.
it's so good. Yeah. Oh God, yeah. She went by Anna Sorokin, but her real name's Anna Delvey.
Mm. Mm.
There's a whole like, they made like one of those like Netflix series on her, but it was just like actors playing all the characters.
Oh, sure.
And like they changed some of the names.
A dramatization.
Yeah. But yeah, she was quoted talking to someone, and she said, "You look
What's the hair in my
poor."
mouth? You look poor. I'm poor.
And then that kind of became a meme.
Ladies,
You look poor.
That's because I am poor. But yeah, the Linkin Park girl's good. I was impressed.
Yeah, I have not listened to it yet. I'll listen to it after the show.
So she's not bad. I mean, like
I want to listen to her like actual band before I listen to her in Linkin Park.
biggest shoes to fill, right?
Well, yeah, no one's going to replace Chester, right? Like I think
Yeah.
that's just like
She did pretty good.
right. Well, just like Sublime like Rome did pretty good to fill Sublime's lead singer's role. Why can I never remember his name?
I don't know. New Sublime guy.
Well, new Sublime guy's name is Jacob, and he's his son, the original guy's
Oh,
son.
you mean in the middle there?
Yeah, Rome was a guy that was like took over for the band.
So you do remember his name? You just said it.
Rome is the guy's name. Jacob is the son's name.
Yeah.
But Rome.
Oh, the first guy. You
the
can't
first
remember
guy.
the first
Yeah,
guy's
yeah.
name.
I think it's
see.
like, I think it's Trent or something.
Trent?
Trevor, Trent.
Trent, Trevor, Travis.
One of the T names, maybe. Maybe I'm completely wrong and off base. I'm probably completely wrong and off base.
All right. Hi, Poro. How you
Poro.
doing?
Hey, Poro. Can you do me a favor and send me your list for water toning?
Nice. All right. You ready to zoom? You ready to be a zoomer?
I am.
I was
ready.
looking to see if there was anything
Bradley.
else to talk about.
Completely wrong. Completely wrong. Wasn't a team
But
name at all.
I don't know. All I got. I'm just gonna have to vamp for a while, as we do.
We're good at
Just talk
mumbling.
about nothing for some time.
Hey, I talk about a lot of things that are important, like the lead singer's name from Sublime, which is Bradley, by the way.
All right. You ready? It's public. There you go.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Very, very nice. Oh, it's because we said, yeah. Anyways, we said Poro's name. I assume that's where the question mark came from. All right. Drum roll. Fuck this shit. Whoop whoop. Shout out.
Woo. Fuck this shit. Shout out to Superhuman,
Should we say grace?
who we say grace. Superhuman, our Lord and Savior. If you ever want to be on the show, please reach out to us.
Amen.
Sorry, guys. The bit's never going to get old. It's for us.
Yeah, I do like the idea of whoop whoop fuck this shit being how we say grace.
Yeah. Whoop, whoop, fuck this
We
shit.
sit down at the dinner table. Thank you, Lord. Whoop whoop fuck this shit.
This one's for all the juggalos and juggalettes.
Yeah. All right, it's time.
I think one day during the live stream we should just like play the videos for these lovely people so they know.
Mm-hmm.
They know.
Down with the
We're
clown.
not
Thumb
down
down
with
the
the
ground.
not really down with the clown, but
Whoop, whoop.
we're down with Superhuman.
I'm kind of down for what the clown stands for.
I'm
you know?
down for like
But
most
their like
of
music sucks. But like I'm down for
Yeah.
what the clown's about.
Yeah, you know,
Community.
community, protecting kids.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you could say everything. I used to be a juggalo. Anyways, if anything, Violent J, right?
Oh god.
Or which one? Which one's the
I
fat one?
literally don't know any of their names.
Whatever the fat one is.
How many are there?
He's
Is
a
it
better
12?
dad than most people.
Is it like Slipknot? There are like 12 of them.
No, there's 2 of them.
Lore updated?
Yeah, but about me.
Oh, sure. I was like, Steven lore updated?
Yeah,
I was like, did they update the lore? That'd be
Steven
so
lore
sick.
updated. I was 15.
Yep. He is superhuman.
I don't want to be talking
That's
to
the
no
joke.
scientist. They be lying and getting me pissed.
Yeah. How do magnets work? We'll never know.
Yeah, it's a mystery. It's not like they're, positively and negatively charged ions in metal or whatever, but ooh.
All right. You ready? You ready to like, talk about Grand Archive or something?
Yeah.
All right.
Sometimes when we don't have much, I just want to like vamp with the friends.
Yeah, I know. But like we're wasting all of our vamping before we hit the go button
Hit the
because
go
we're going to
button.
have to vamp for
Hit the go button.
God knows how long. I know, right? Like
Yeah.
who wants to hear us talk about fucking Grand Archive,
Right. On our Grand Archive
Hey.
podcast.
I have all the information in the world. I was talking to Theo the other day,
Yeah.
and I have
That
all
Theo?
of I have all of his hot takes that I can leak at any time. So for anyone who wants, Theo to get canceled about his hot Grand Archive takes,
Sick.
Holding those hostage.
Sick.
All right,
Do it.
do it. All right,
That was a good Cam.
yeah. Hell yeah, did I nail that one?
Just call Cam Palpatine from now on.
That's the shoe fits. Read them like slam poetry. Theo says you're all bad. That's the hot take.
That's funny.
Decks aren't too good. You're just bad. And I agree. All right. Time for the podcast. My hair is in my face. No longer. We've done it. All right. Well, Damn. Roasted. All right. I promise. I'm going to start doing the podcast.
You
right
yelled
now.
at me about it.
I try, and then I have to read chat, and I love the flame war in the chat between developers. Pretty good. Sheesh.
These guys but they're playing like set 7 right now.
Yeah, they're playing with new classes or something, and who knows what the hell they're doing. I don't think I have.
I have not. No.
The entirety of Chicago, I didn't see Theo at all. He was like tucked away in the corner. I wasn't even sure that he existed. And I said hello as we were leaving on Sunday. As we walked by each other. It's like, oh, hey, man. All right. Really. Now, I'm just going to start talking. All right, Steve?
Yeah.
That sounds
Do
good.
the thing.
Right. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Lineage Break, a Grand Archive TCG podcast. I am your host, Cam. With me, as always, is Glooman.
I'm the Glooman.
Hello. Hello, Stephen.
Hello, Cameron.
I'm the Glooman. We're back. Good Dinosaurs story.
Yeah. Do you want me to say it?
Sure.
We were right. Cam was right.
Mm-hmm.
You're all wrong.
Right.
We are great, and Lineage Break, we trust.
I want you to all take a little walk, a little jaunt into the main Grand Archive Discord, right? And you go find that Let's Make Arisana competitive channel, which I'm always watching, by the way. Y'all are cursed. But you find, like, I think it was the last time I posted in that channel. It was on, like, I think it was like Saturday or something. And people were talking about how unlikely it is that Arisana is getting a Proxies Vault card. And I was like, just you wait, I'll see you on Monday. That's what I posted. And hey.
Oh, I believe it was midnight on Monday.
Yeah, it was like 1 a.m. CST or something, or EST, one of those. Yep. And
I was in bed. I got out of bed to get into Discord with Cam to talk about the card.
It is pretty crazy, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. We'll do a rundown of anything that we missed, and then we'll do some talking about the ban list. A few things to talk about. Obviously, Polaris. We'll have lots of talking for Polaris to do, but the bans as well. Before that, we got a pretty exciting announcement yesterday. We've seen the new prize card for Ascent Toronto. It is a new spirit because we're, NA
Spirit
is ahead of everybody. Her name is Brissa. So am I crazy? I didn't go back to look. So maybe it's just like what do they call that when you like remember something as something
Mandela
else?
effect?
Yeah, so maybe it's one of those. I was like fairly confident that the new spirit's name was Blissa, like with an L. But her name's Brissa, because that's what's written on the card, so that's her name. Her name is Brissa. She's very cute.
She's very cute. I really love her art, and again, beautiful art done by Honshu.
Dude, it's wild. I think it's like holistically this year, I think Honshu has done all of the
prize cards,
the prize cards, which is sweet.
Yeah,
it's great.
I love seeing Hans work. So
I'm a big fan. I don't know why, but I'm a big fan of her new signature that's on these cards.
Yeah, it's
like super clean.
Yeah,
and I like that.
Yeah,
a lot.
it's awesome.
I like when you can like read their names.
Yeah,
and you can very much read Hans.
I can't wait to get to Toronto and bubble out on day one.
Yeah. I'll take a reprogram. I don't need a Brissa. Top 32, nice and easy.
Yeah, I get close every time that I go to one of these events and participate, and every time I lose right at the end.
Well, Toronto's the one for sure.
Yeah.
New meta, new me. Speaking of new meta and
I'm
and
pre-coping. I know.
Pre-coping. Yeah. See, it's about positivity, Stephen.
Right.
Gotta have that positive attitude.
I just like to set my expectations low.
It's doing you a disservice. You gotta set your expectations high, and then always
it's fine.
be disappointed.
I will be playing Kong Ming.
I won't.
Yeah.
No, I might be. Who knows?
Yeah. I will be playing Kong Ming because Cam and I have already pre-started building the deck.
So, yeah.
We don't know what any of the cards do except for the ones that we know.
So we have been given our spoiler cards. I think we mentioned that last week, but we hadn't seen them. We've now seen them. Oh, right. Sorry, Caven's right. Academy got us the top 32 program.
Yeah, we talked about that last week.
Reprogram is the Singapore top 32. Thank you, Caven. I appreciate it.
No, isn't it the silver? repurposed
Yeah,
the
for silver
Yeah.
in Singapore, yeah. And Academy Guide is top 32, which we haven't seen.
Which
Sounds
again,
sick, though. It's probably Honshu, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Like they've all been Honshu art, and that sounds great.
Yeah.
So.
I will be selling that if I get it.
I might not be. I don't know. But I won't get it, so it doesn't matter. All right. What was I saying?
We were talking about
right. So spoilers.
Yeah.
We have received our spoilers, so you guys can look forward to that on September 21st. I believe that is not this coming Saturday, but the next Saturday. Nope, not tomorrow. Not 7 days from tomorrow. 14 days from tomorrow.
2
that
weeks
one.
from tomorrow.
But we have seen the cards, and oh boy,
They're cards.
they're pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't think that that's a spoiler. We can say they're pretty good. We have a couple of cards, and they're pretty good. And when when I sent them to Steven, I sent him the like least exciting ones.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, they're pretty good, right? And he was like, yeah, they're pretty good. And I was like, oh, I forgot about this one. I sent
He bamboozled me late at night when I was already like,
it was like 3 a.m.
I was like not like coherent. He was like, I was like, oh, okay. And he's like, oh, yeah,
I forgot.
I was like, oh, damn, that card is wild.
So we're very excited to talk about those. So you guys will see us talking about those soon. We're also very excited that something nice about the BNR that we got this week is that we've been very much in Mortal Ambition mode.
Right.
You know, really excited for Mortal Ambition, and we don't know a whole lot about it. So I've been counting the days until we get the stream next week, the developer live
7
stream.
days from tomorrow.
Right. But this BNR has, I just like stopped thinking about it. I haven't even been thinking about Kongming the last couple of days. Back to thinking about my wife.
His
And
wife.
so that's pretty cool. I like reinvigorating the format when it's like so late into it to give us a couple of weeks to like still be excited about stuff. I wasn't planning on going to any regionals this season at all. Obviously, like I ran the one here in Mass, but I wasn't planning to go to any of them. But I have made arrangements to be away from the store to go to New Jersey in 2 weeks.
No, a week.
In a week, yeah. So I can play Ari Sana.
We will be playing in rounds, and then hopefully they'll give us a break to watch the stream, or we'll be watching it after on our way home.
Yeah, probably. When we scrub out, we'll be watching it on our way home. We do have one Capen Schwarzentrooper in the chat.
Yes, we do.
And so I do want to address something real quick because I've been sowing the seeds, Steven, right?
Yeah.
And that's really important. And Capen told me once, this was, I don't know, 2 months ago, 3 months ago or something, that there is no competitive Arisana deck, but if there was, he would be, giving me the training arc on that Arisana deck. So, Capen, you let me know. You let me know what you come up with. Because, we might be cooking.
I will say this, though, the deck that we've been testing
feels okay.
All right.
It feels like a Grand Archive deck.
It feels all right. It doesn't feel like I'm just playing by myself.
Yeah.
Which it used to feel like when I played Cam's Arisana decks. It was just like,
it's like mildly threatening.
Yeah, it's
I
like
could kill you maybe.
Like sometimes, and then you just like fatigue him out of Cosmic Bolts, and he dies.
Not anymore.
But now, that's not the case. It doesn't really feel like that.
100 of those suckers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I think other than that, we don't have a whole lot to talk about today, but we do have this ban list to talk about today, and so we'll take our time and we'll go over it.
You want to go from the bottom up, so start at tier 1?
Sure. Yeah. So there was a few changes that were made to the ban list this weekend, or last weekend, whatever, recently. It's all a blur now. I feel like I've lived an entire lifetime in the past week. So yeah. So first of all, I guess maybe to the dismay of some, but worth talking about. We had some category changes, but something that I saw some people bemoaning is that Erupting Rhapsody did not move. And some people sort of expected Erupting Rhapsody to move from Category 3, or from Category 2 to Category 3. It did not. How do you feel about that, Steve?
Honestly, right now in the meta, I think that's fine. There's not really any erupting decks making waves. Everyone's on the the recon decks or what, or recollection decks.
Yeah.
So it's like, I feel okay with it. I do, however, still think that Erupting Rhapsody is probably a problematic card for the future. I think that is why it's still in Category 2 and has not moved out of Category 2. But I think for now it's fine, right? I'm not gonna, I don't think it's necessary to ban it right away, right now. Like, I think it's fine in the format. If it was still broken and overpowered, people besides Matt G would be playing it, I think.
Sure.
And I haven't seen
That's
that.
a fair point. Yeah, I'm not. I can't say that I'm surprised either way. I'm not like particularly surprised to see it not move, but I wouldn't have been if they chose to ban it. I think it is really about future design. I think you're right that like right now it's fine. It is a little bit like worrisome that it is a mage card. Like people forget that it's a mage card.
Yeah.
And we do have an entire set of mage support coming out, right? So it is quite possible that there are some cards that fit into that archetype or make that archetype just like a little bit faster or more consistent.
Yeah.
I think it's always on the brink, right? Of like getting a card or maybe two cards are enough to sort of push it over the edge, where it's sort of like it was in DOA, like this unstoppable monster. So I wonder if we'll get like a last hurrah once A and B comes out. We do have the next ban list update is on A and B launch day. That's usually how they do it. I would be pretty shocked if we got any significant changes on A and B launch day, but it's not out of the realm of possibility that maybe we see some spoilers and Erupting is a little bit more problematic than we think, and they decide to, nip it in the bud.
Yeah, I could see some of the mage cards coming out just pushing it over the edge.
I mean, it's not even like we're asking for like very specific Erupting support, right? It's like cards like Creative Shock are the best ways to fuel Erupting Rhapsody, and obviously we're not going to get another Creative Shock. I think that card stands in a league of its own, but things similar is not out of the realm of possibility because that does very much fit in Fire's identity. So yeah, we just wanted to mention that. Get over it. It's fine. Y'all are making too big of a deal out of that.
Yeah, I think so.
I know that everybody has like it's such a localized game, right? Like Grand Archive that you play at your locals, but even like Grand Archive that you play in North America is so different than other places, right? And so I understand that maybe Magi plays at your locals and Erupting is a bit more of a boogeyman than it is for everybody else, right? So I can understand some people.
Yeah,
being
we have a local that plays Erupting, but like.
Yeah.
It hasn't been an issue. Even he's a very good player too.
Right.
Like, but I still think it's fine.
Yeah, prepare yourself for it and it's okay, right?
Yeah. It's not like Ascension. Which I still think is extremely problematic. But
of course it's fine.
Yeah. That's neither here nor there. We had some other moves, right? So we had Gaia's Blessing going to tier 1, which is, I think is a statement on how strong the slime recollection deck is. Yeah,
I'm not sure. It's always a question how they decide what to put on the bans and restricted list. It feels like to me that a lot of changes, I think post Avarice Reckless conversion, I think a lot of changes to the bans and restricted list aren't necessarily based on power level. If you guys like look at the history of the BNR list, and I say this post Avarice and Reckless because they came out when we introduced the BNR. A lot of these changes have been impactful. We now have 2 additional cards that we'll talk about, but not we're not hitting power cards, right? Like you said, we're not banning Spirit Blade Ascension, we're not banning Fireball, we're not banning Shadow Strike. Like we're not banning these like big powerful finisher cards. It seems like a lot of the changes made are for like problematic future design space, and so they're trying to like get out ahead of that. And I think Gaia's Blessing is a really good card, and usually really good cards are a sign of problematic design. It has 2 lines of text that are both very problematic, potentially in the future, and they've talked about this, so I'm not talking out of thin air. In that activating cards out of your material deck is very strong. Breaking the sequence of the game, giving yourself basically an extra turn of materializes whenever you need it is quite strong, and we see Gaia's Blessing do that by banishing 4 animals or beasts from your graveyard. And then also the unfettered access to the top of your deck and being able to cast those cards does hamper the design space of cheap animals and beasts. We saw for a while before Slimes took over with the Recollection deck. We saw some people playing Sylvie as this sort of like combo deck where you would play a bunch of squirrels or Guy Songbirds or owl familiars off the top of your deck, and then play a big Virtus and do like a sort of a Craterhoof Behemoth, like combo kill with all these little animals and beasts, which to be fair is a pretty cool deck. But the existence of more cards like that would push something like that over the edge.
Right.
So the existence of Guy's Blessing makes it hard for them to design low-cost animals and beasts, which I think are like probably a pretty good design for Sylvie or other tamers to have. So it's a shame that they're sort of hampered by the existence of Guy's Blessing. And obviously, like you said, casting Storm Slimes off the top is pretty good too.
Casting Storm Slimes off the top is pretty good.
That one's pretty good too. So I think it's a little bit of both, but I definitely think that they're watching out for future design. I think that's why they put Stone Scale on the ban list, or on the watch list rather.
Yeah.
After the errata as well, is that sort of very powerful effect to cycle your memory is still quite strong.
Yeah, I agree.
So past that, we did have one card move from Category 1 to Category 2, being Chalice of Blood. I'm actually a little bit shocked by this one. I was a little surprised seeing Chalice get put on the ban list in the first place, and we see it now moved up to Category 2. Not to say that Chalice isn't a powerful card. It is a very powerful card. But I've never really had a problem with Chalice's design. It is like a real risk to get above that 20 threshold, and it is better in some decks than others. It's obviously better in Warrior and Guardian, where they have a larger life pool, or in something that is like hyper defensive, stuff like Nico, right? Like really gets to leverage Chalice of Blood if they want to. So I can see why they're watching it. They said as much in the update that, it's become easier and easier to make this a very safe option to get Chalice of Blood, and that you'll be able to crack it over the course of the game. But I'm a little shocked to see it moved, but maybe it'll sit in that sort of erupting space where they just want to have the ability to move it to Category 3 when they want to. We've seen something that now has become the norm, that they will put a card at Category 1 first and then move it up the ranks throughout the BNR updates so that nobody gets blindsided. So I think maybe this Chalice move was sort of a nod to that they're just going to move it up so they have the ability to push it over the edge should they want to.
Yeah. I'm under the impression that they're moving this up because decks that do want to leverage it don't need the help, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like decks like Merlin that are playing it.
Right.
It's just like
Rye does need it.
Rye does need it, but like again, like that's like a tight line to walk because Rye is either all right or too good, right? Mm-hmm. If you look back at like DOA where it's just like there's nothing you can do. You're gonna get Arcane Blasted to death.
Reckless is a good card.
Right.
Yeah, no, I can see that. I think hopefully in my copium, we love copium here, because we're usually right about it. Is it copium if you're like always right? I don't know.
It's not. No, and we are always right. Take our word as gospel.
They're gonna watch the show and start changing decisions just so that we're wrong.
Yeah. But then we'd still be right.
But the hope for me is that moving away from cards like Chalice of Blood means that they are slowly making control decks better. I think it's been pretty hard to be a like slow plodding sort of player in Grand Archive, and it's gotten a little bit better. Like every set it gets a little bit better, right? In this set we have Tristan and Nico that are both very much control decks, I think, that want to take the game long and leverage their resources, and that's the sort of game plan that I like. And so if we're moving away from powerful cards like Chalice of Blood, to me that is a nod that maybe we are getting a little bit more survivable for these top end decks who want to spend a little bit of time at the upper end of their champion line and play some powerful cards.
Something like
something
Neos.
like a Terra Mage, perhaps, getting to hang out at level 3 for a while.
Terra Mage.
Is the hope so that's why they're moving away from Chalice of Blood, because those decks are getting a little bit more powerful.
Most players, well, maybe not most players, but I know at least in our play group, like a lot of us have always wanted a slower format so we could play with some of the more interesting advanced element cards.
Yeah, I mean, I think the best part about Grand Archive is level 3.
Mm-hmm.
I think the advanced element cards are really cool, and they're also really powerful. So it's hard to balance a game where you stay at that level 3 advanced element sort of portion of the game for any length of time because the cards are so powerful.
Right.
But it is nice to see at least those become options.
Right.
You get tools that can sort of lead towards that game plan. And maybe that means that advanced element cards are reducing a little bit in power, and I think we've seen that over the course of the game. But I think that's okay.
Yeah.
I think the designs are really interesting. I'm not like particularly
I
want Ghost of Pendragon, right? Like I'm fine to play, cards that are cool like Neos Elemental.
Yeah, I want to play Neos Elemental. Let me play it. Can't play that anytime ever, but it'd be cool to.
Speaking of cards that are cool, this is not a cool card.
Yeah,
but,
I was gonna say it's probably not a cool card. Moving from category 2 to category 3, shocking no one. Korhazi Outlook is now banned from competitive play. I think, you've seen me on the show talk about how I don't think it's problematic, blah, 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 but it was very problematic. The card is insane. It made Tristan players just be able to kill you without any agency for you, so it felt bad, right? It's like, I push the button, I'm going to Shadow Strike you for 40. Good game.
Yeah, we're playing a card game. I don't know if you guys knew. And if we wanted the ability to play chess and have all face-up information and no potential hidden options from your opponent, we would play chess, right? Mm-hmm. And so the thing that I like the least about Korhazi Outlook is that removal of agency, of course, is extremely cursed. Not allowing your player to play or your opponent to play anything leads to some really feels bad situations. Mm-hmm. But the thing that I dislike the most about the way that card works is that you, as the Tristan player, don't ever have to think about repercussions, and that's sort of the entire backbone of playing a card game with interaction, right? Like, if I wanted to play a card game without interaction, I'd go play like Lorcana, right? Yeah. If you're playing Tristan and you have this finite resource of prep counters, even if you have 20, right? But you need to use almost all of them to kill your opponent. The Korhazi Outlook allows you to just hit the button. I know you can't do anything. Drain all my resources, play my Shadow Strike, you die. But now, with the removal of Korhazi Outlook, it allows people to interact, which is cool. But I think that a skilled Tristan pilot is not really going to miss this card a whole lot. Sure, you are going to obviously lose some percentage. It is a very powerful card. But I think that the people that are skilled at playing Tristan, people like Sean Zhang, right? Caven, people that have been playing this deck for a long time, are able to navigate Tristan endgame situations without Outlook. They don't have to wait until they hit an Outlook to play the game. They just have to navigate that situation in a more skillful way. So it means that Tristan can't probably fire off Shadow Strikes with no protection if you're holding up a full hand, because why would you, right? Like, you assume that your opponent's holding something.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it brings us back to Grand Archive, where Tristan has to interact with the game the same way that everybody else does.
Right.
And I don't think that it makes her much less of a powerful deck. I think she is still going to be very powerful. She still has the tools to play that Shadow Strike combo game plan if you want to. Use, cards like Incapacitate to force things through, right? It makes you have to think about.
Right. You can't just kill people on 3 cards.
And something that I hope that we see, and we do have Singapore coming up, but something that I would like to see from Tristan, I think something that's been a little bit overlooked in this Tristan game plan is she is such a good mid-range deck. She has all of the best mid-range tools in the game, stuff like all these cantrips, Sadie, back alley broker, these evasive threats that give you value throughout the game, Imperial Spy, whatever, that she doesn't really have to leverage so much in the current builds of Tristan that sort of play like a combo deck. They spin some wheels until they get a Mastermind Scheme, they play a Mastermind Scheme, they get a million prep, they kill you with Shadow Strike.
Right.
And now that is a little bit more interactable, I'm hoping that Tristan players will move a little bit away from that sort of combo game plan and move down into that value, excuse me, that value-oriented Tristan game plan because she's so good at it.
Right.
She has some of the most powerful tools to keep influence in the game, and I would love to see people leverage those a little bit more to sort of grind out games rather than have to go for this big attack you for 40 in one turn. So I think overall good for Tristan, but obviously I know that some Tristan players are going to be sad that it's gone.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very powerful card. Nobody wants to lose a powerful card, right? But I think you'll be all right. If you've put the time in, I think you'll be all right. But I do think that we will lose some percentage of Tristan players that are a little bit less experienced, and we're sort of relying on that lack of interactability from Korazi Outlook.
Yeah. Just I'm gonna win because I have the card.
Right. I have this outlook. Doesn't matter how good of a player you are. I know I can hit the button and kill you.
Right.
But they will have to, now take a second glance at what their opponent's doing and maybe play around some interaction there. So, yeah, we're real happy about that. So that puts
good riddance.
That puts Korazi Outlook as our 4th card on Category 3. And like I said, I think this one and the last one being Crystal of Empowerment cards that got moved to Category 3. Both not the most powerful cards in their archetype, and both not, I think, bannings meant to temper their archetype. Like, I don't think this Korazi Outlook ban was meant to temper Tristan. She really hasn't even been performing that well in the sort of dominant slime season that we've had the past month or two. It's more so that it's just a problematic
play pattern
design philosophy for the future of the game. And I think that was true of Crystal of Empowerment as well, which was a powerful card that some powerful decks were leveraging, but mostly a design problem for the future. Would have been really good in Arisana.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would have been, huh?
Yeah, woulda, shoulda, coulda.
But hey, speaking of really good in Arisana.
Hey.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna take a back seat for you to get on your soapbox and talk for a bit.
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't have that much to say. It's a
strong card.
It's a very powerful card. It goes to show
what, it's Polaris Twinkling Cauldron?
Yeah, Polaris Twinkling Cauldron is the new Proxy's Vault card for Arisana. Very cute art. I wish I could read any sort of Asian characters. I don't know who the artist is.
I don't either.
They did a lot of promo art. They did a lot of the SP1 stuff. They did the promo Honorable Vanguards as well. So if you guys know who that is, and I can get a signed one or something, let me know. Artist proof. Yeah, it's a very powerful card, and it reinforces the fact that I don't know how to design games, and there's a reason why we're here talking about the game and not there making the game. It's a design that I could not have come up with.
Yeah, I would have never guessed.
People ask me all the time, especially when I was right and when Steve was right and when we were very much right about this happening. What is it gonna do? That's always what people ask me when I'm like, yeah, well, Ari's gonna get a Proxy's Vault card, and they're like, well, what does it do? And I'm like, I don't know how to fix that pile of shit.
It turns out putting 15 Cosmic Bolts in your deck fixes it.
Yeah, and it's not exactly what I thought it would be. So shout out to Theo on the dev team for doing that one for me. I appreciate it. So yeah, the way that Twinkling Cauldron works, for anyone that hasn't gotten a chance to read it, it is a 0-cost Regalia, so it goes in your deck. It has Arisana bonus that allows you to activate it out of your material deck. If you do, it comes in rested. So that is sort of a nod, I think, to the way that they're designing these activates from your material deck, right? We see a couple of them. Almost any time that a card has that you can activate it from your material deck clause, it sees almost ubiquitous play. I can't think of any card that has that clause that doesn't see some sort of ubiquity across an archetype or whatever, because it's so powerful. But I think we see, in the way that Polaris is worded, a sort of nod to how powerful that ability is. And this is, I think, pretty healthy, and hopefully how they decide to design these sort of things in the future, is that it is a very powerful card, and you can get it standing when you materialize it normally.
Right.
However, if you want to do that sequence breaking and get it during your main phase, you can, but it does come in rested, and then it is a little bit more vulnerable to interaction.
So
I think that
you grab it in win decks, right?
Yeah, if they're playing win, you're pretty safe. They're gonna Zephyr it maybe, or baby green it, but hard for them to remove it right now. So that's our first line of text, and then the second line of text is whenever you sacrifice an herb, it gets an age counter. Notably, this is an item cleric artifact. I think it's not a potion, so it doesn't have any age counter interaction. There is some age counter stuff in Arisana, stuff like potion infusion growth and alchest, but they do not work on your Polaris, so keep that in mind. But every time you sacrifice an herb, you get an age counter. And then you may banish, rest and banish Polaris, which is important. So you cannot do this if you activate it on your main phase. You deal X damage to all allies, and then you may add up to X generated cosmic bolts to your deck and shuffle them in. And then you banish Polaris. So it's sort of an impromptu board wipe that can sit on the board. Your herbs are pretty free to be used. So you can just sort of like sit on your herbs, make as many herbs as you can, play out a Polaris, sort of locks your opponent out from building their board for some amount of time. You use it to clear their board. You shuffle a bunch of win cons into your deck.
Yeah.
It's very strong. It's basically all that she could have asked for, I think.
I've been playing Tristan into it, and
it feels fine.
Sometimes like you're like, oh man, I got this, and then all of a sudden all of your shadows are gone because they push the button for 8 and you're like, shit.
Yep.
So it's been good. I think the addition of Polaris has made Arisana from unplayable to a contender in the format. Like maybe you're not going to be winning, I don't think, an ascent with it.
See you there.
But I think it's definitely a strong like contender where you're going to go into an event and no one's really going to know how to play against you because it's Arisana. No one's played against Arisana ever.
Right.
And
maybe recently.
It's really gonna surprise you.
Yeah, I've been really impressed. It's want to gush about Ari. It's I think it's everything that I wanted it to be for her. She still feels like the deck that I've played hundreds of hours of. It still has that sort of skill ceiling, which is something that I really liked about Arisana. It's very decision dense, and a lot of your sequencing is really important. Mm-hmm. And it still has that. You just have the ability to sort of make those decisions more often. It felt like with Ari before, you would get into these endgame scenarios. Like she's an Astra deck, and I think you should be leveraging the Astra pool because it is, in all honesty, pretty strong. But in the before Polaris, you'd get into these late game situations where you could like probably play the game for a few turns at Astra, because you can leverage very powerful Astra cards like Astral Seal and Comet Fall and Meteor Strike and all these very powerful Astra cards. But you didn't have a way to finish the game, and so you would get into these scenarios where you would be setting up a sequence of decisions where that sequence of decisions has to sort of like work out perfectly for you to even have a line for lethal. And then if your opponent interacts with you, you just die. And that was just the way that Ari went. And now she gets rid of that like fatigable condition that we talked about a little bit earlier, where you can't run her out of win cons really, provided that you're shuffling 6, 8, 10 Cosmic Bolts into your deck. By the time, like I played a game yesterday with a friend, and I cast my 10th Cosmic Bolt is the way that I killed him because he was playing like a blue control deck. But once you get to that point, since they ramp so much, the 10th Cosmic Bolt is dealing, like 24 damage or some cursed number. Not that much, but I digress. It's 22 damage. So it sort of allows her to not worry about people running you out of win cons, and you can sort of play that late game Astra strategy and just try to survive as long as you can to see as many bolts as possible. So, yeah, I've been like really impressed with it. I think that it is going to be a very hard deck to play. I think Cleric was designed that way, and when they announced it, it was detailed that way, and so I think she's not going to be this like meta monster. She's going to be pretty hard to play and still probably a pretty fringe deck, but it feels like she is competitively viable, at least. Like I can go to a tournament and feel like I'm not overtly wasting my time by showing up with an Arisana deck, and so thank you so much for just giving me the opportunity to play a deck I like.
Cam has been smiling every time we play, so
Yeah.
it's good to see.
And I'm losing at the very worst 50% of my games, and I'm still having a great time, which is like all that I could ask for. It's I've said a couple of times on the show that I've never really like played a deck in Grand Archive for a game that I love so much. I've never really played a deck in Grand Archive that I like really love at a competitive level, and so I think this might be the first time that I can go to a tournament and like win or lose. Obviously, I want to win. I'm going to play to win. I'm going to try to build my deck to win. But like win or lose, I'm going to enjoy it, and that sounds great.
Yeah,
wild, wonderful. So very excited. Send me all of your Arisana builds purely selfishly so I can steal them, because I'm a terrible deck builder. But I'm a good Arisana player, I promise you. So yeah, I have some tweaking to do. If you guys see me in Jersey next week, you know what's coming. Well, you don't know what's coming, but you know that it'll be, cleric associated. I see Steve looking at his phone. Do we have breaking news?
We have breaking news.
Breaking news.
Live from right now. Ascent Toronto's promo.
Is that the Fractal promo?
Is the
no
Fractal
way.
of Rain.
No way. Well, we knew that, but
yeah.
Holy.
Woo boy.
My Lord.
Here, you can
see
it a little bit.
We'll put it up on the screen if I do that.
But Crown just posted it in Merlin's Marketplace.
She's hot.
So go check it out. It is beautiful.
And maybe I will be looking at some water decks, which I haven't tried yet. So that's on the docket. Yeah. Well, man, that sort of took me out of the show there.
Yeah.
But
woo.
Yeah. Ooh.
Breaking news. Gotta love
She's
breaking
hot.
news.
Glad I got VIP. That's all I'm saying.
I did not get VIP.
Play set of foils. All for
Unfortunately.
daddy.
Literally bought my tickets 2 minutes after they went live and missed it.
Yeah, you got to work on that finger dexterity.
It's not finger dexterity. It's internet speed. The page wouldn't load.
All I'm saying, I was in a room full of people, and I got my ticket.
I was in the middle of the fucking woods.
That's skill issues, dude.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know what to tell you. Don't be in the woods next time. We knew when they were going up.
I was working.
Well, don't instead. All right.
Just set up a bot. Cam
should
should have just bought my ticket for me if he's so good at it.
I can only buy one. That's how it goes.
I'm
They
just saying.
refund your other ones. That's like the whole thing. Anyways, I'll see you getting those fractal rains in Toronto. Yeah, I think that's all we have to talk about. I just wanted to gush a little bit about Ari. I'm very, very happy. I mean, not that we don't do that enough, gush about Ari, but maybe now I don't have to complain about Ari all the time because she's like probably fine.
It's gonna be so good.
It'll be so good. We complain like I don't even know what to do with my life now, Steven. Like, what do we complain about? They're gonna have to make Kongwing bad so I can complain about it.
No, we just go back to complaining about Spirit Blade Ascension.
I think that's one of us, and not the both of us, But maybe that's a topic for another day.
You can just come back and complain with me about it.
Why don't we why don't we put we'll put a pin in this, right? And,
I'm gonna put up a petition to get Ascension unbanned and Spirit Blade Ascension
let's
banned.
how about this, Steven? Let's make a note, and maybe it won't be on the podcast. Maybe we'll just like make a video about it because I think it would be fun. Where you and I separately create our own ban list for Grand Archive, and then we can
Mine is exactly the same as it is.
Mm-hmm.
Swap Avarice in Ascension.
Mine might be a little hot. We might be doing a little cooking on the ban
because
list.
I think the wrong card got banned.
Mm-hmm. We might be doing a little cooking this. Maybe we'll try that out. But that is all we have for you guys. Thank you for watching. So we do have some slight bad news.
Ooh, no.
Sorry,
guys.
I'm sorry, chat.
We're sorry.
We're sorry. Sorry. Next week, the 13th, there will probably not be a podcast. We are doing a little thing that maybe you guys have heard of. We are filming our spoiler video for the week after that. So,
correct.
This is the time that Steve and I get while we are both not working and that we have access to our lovely building here that we can use to film. So next week, we will probably be filming for the majority of the morning.
Yep.
If for some reason we get done like super early, we'll hop on. But I would plan for no podcast next week.
Yep. And we'll have lovely paid actors.
That's true.
Paid hourly, so
it'll be a great time. Anybody who wants to fly out to be a volunteer for the spoiler video, we'll be shooting it at Webway Games on the 13th. I will not show you the spoiler cards, but I will put you in the video.
Yeah, you can be in the video. You don't get to see the cards.
Yeah. So other than that, you can catch us normally here every Friday, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But here's the asterisk: we will not be here next week.
Correct.
You can also find our video on demands edited on the YouTube channel when eventually I get around to editing them. I'm sorry, I'm very behind. Other than that, that's all I got. Steven, you got anything else for the people? Whoop.
I don't. Whoop.
Whoop.
Whoop whoop.
Well, thank you for watching. We will see you in 2 whole weeks. That is going to be after the developer live stream.
We'll have a lot to talk about.
So we'll have a lot to talk about.
Interesting. And then the following day from the next episode, you guys will see your spoiler video.
That's true. That's all true. So we will see you for that. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you then. Goodbye.
Have a good one, guys.
Whoop, whoop.
Whoop, whoop.
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 Whoop. Thank you for watching. Thank you for the podcast. Yeah, the video is going to be cursed, Boro. I guarantee it.
Yeah, we're really leaning into the theme of
we're going to try to pay homage to the theme of our cards without being racist.
Or canceled.
That's the hope. That's the hope, is that we're going to try to pay homage without being racist. So that's the plan.
It might just
you heard it here first.
It just might get scrapped.
Maybe it gets scrapped, and it's I know we're gonna try. We're gonna try to pay homage. We're not
Yeah, we're not doing anything. We think it's tasteful.
Yeah, it'll be fine. And Poro and Theo know our card. I assume.
I would assume Poro does know the card because of the question he just asked.
So that'll be cool. Doing our bookmark. Can't wait.
I don't know what a twit longer is. Do you mean an X longer?
Yeah. Did they change that website?
What?
Twit longer.
Oh, is it? I don't know.
I like what do they do?
I don't know what a Twitter is though. So it's X, right?
Dude, what if you were funny? Wouldn't that be?
I'm just saying. Like,
wild?
I'm just saying. Like, Twitter's is like a boomer term, right?
I still call it Twitter like every time. I think I referred to it yesterday as X to you.
You did.
And that was, I think, the first time I've ever said that. But I don't like it. I was like, oh yeah, you can see that on their X. It's like, that sounds
stupid.
Awful. It sounds like we're playing Call of Duty. Yeah. And I'm like, there's a dude on my X.
I don't like Elon Musk.
Really? That's such a wild take. If you like Elon Musk, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Elon Musk is...
Dude, she's so fucking hot.
Yeah, she is.
That's
Elon
crazy.
Musk is Lex Luthor, but without the cool mech armor.
Is this Jubei? Oh, I think it's Jubei. Yeah. I think that's Jubei. If I recognize the characters.
the cross, yeah.
I think that's Jubei. Man, that's sick.
Yeah.
Not for Singapore, though, right? No, it is for Singapore as well, right?
That says Toronto.
I know, but Fractal Brain is also the Singapore promo, I think.
Is it? I don't know.
I think so.
I thought it was fireworks display still.
It's pretty hot. I don't know. There's developers in here.
Yeah, developers.
What the hell's the promo for Singapore? I thought it was Fractal Brain. I think it might be. It's like pretty hot. Got him signed by Jubei at the event. Could be cool. So how you feel? Jersey Mikes?
Yeah, we're Jersey miking it today.
I'd go for a sub.
What sub should I get, chat? You tell me.
Hey, you.
I'm up in the air.
Turkey sub.
Oh,
it's a
meme.
If you watch School of Rock, it's a.
I don't remember.
It's a School of Rock.
Just bread and mayhem.
Bread and
Come
mayonnaise.
Come on.
That's the white man special right there.
Look at this.
Bread and mayonnaise. White bread and mayonnaise, of course. You can get the Parmesan crusted, I guess, but just bread and mayonnaise.
I would rather eat my foot.
Yeah, I not a mayonnaise enjoyer. though. I know it's
I have a wheat sewing.
It's an affront to my culture, but I'm not a mayonnaise.
I enjoy mayonnaise, but I need meat. I might do a steak and cheese. How's Jersey Mike's steak and cheese? I've never had it. I think the only time I think I've only ever had the Italian.
Mumbo Italiano. All right.
But yeah, very interesting. Very interesting stuff.
Yeah.
Can't wait for 2 weeks from now when we come back and we talk about how broken Jin is and how bad Kong Ming is.
I can't wait for next week. It's really been out of my mind. I've been like so focused on Ari that it's really been out of my mind, which is great because it's been really just holy. Yeah. It's been keeping me down, man.
We're right here. We're right on the cusp.
Whew, it's been a tough one.
We're on the cusp.
So at least
we're all gonna spin with purpose.
I sure hope so. I've said a lot of things. Have I said it on the show? Should I like say it on the show now in case I haven't said it on the show so we can be right when they announce it next week?
She's broken.
No, I don't know how good she is, but what I think is that she will have some sort of spells matter ability.
Yeah, we've talked about it.
That will, I know we've talked about it. I just don't remember if it's been on camera. She'll have some sort of spells matter ability that will care about her casting spells. I think it'll be a rest ability. I really do. I think she'll rest herself to do something after casting spells. And she will get wisdom counters or something similar to wisdom counters. And those wisdom counters will
do something.
We'll give her like a ramping ability like Merlin. She'll be like Merlin, but fair. But hopefully Merlin that you can influence. It's like obviously Merlin is super busted.
You're being bullied live.
I'm being bullied?
Yeah. By one Grey Wolf.
Was a Viking in a group of Vikings? What's this mean? Was a Viking in a group of Vikings? He'd be the nerdy one. What does that mean? I mean, like, sure. Am I a Viking? Like, what is this a thing that I don't understand?
I've added to it. I agree.
Thanks. Okay. thank you, sir. I don't understand what that means. Do I look like a Viking? That's like kind of a compliment, right? Like Vikings are hot.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks. Thanks, Phil. I appreciate that. What was I saying? Yeah, Merlin's broken. But I think the thing that you could do better than Merlin, because it's hard to be better than Merlin because she's so broken, is have influence over when you get your ramping ability. You know, like she has to wait, and she doesn't have a way to progress herself. Mm-hmm. But if Kong Ming is weaker than Merlin, but has the ability to accelerate it, I think that would be cool.
Yeah,
get a bunch of wisdom counters or whatever.
Like every 3 wisdom counters, you get to draw a card or something.
Yeah, something like that. And so it's like every time you cast 3 spells or something, you get a wisdom counter. Merlin is fine. I'm not like a Merlin hater. I just like think her text is very good. The text on Merlin is probably the best text on any champion, other than maybe Tristan 2. I think Tristan 2 might be the best champion in the game. Draw 2 cards basically for free is kind of wild. But best level 3, I think, is probably Merlin.
I think that's because it has 2 classes.
yeah, that too. Yeah, that part's too. I think without that, it's still probably the most powerful.
Yeah, I think
wild.
I think
so
she should have just been a mage.
Yeah,
that would have been fine.
You know. I don't know. What does this fucking Viking thing mean?
I have no idea, but it's so funny.
I don't understand what that means.
It's so funny.
I feel like every time Syl posts, like I don't know if I'm just like I'm too into it, you know. But every time Syl posts, I feel like it's some sort of like escape room riddle, you know, like there's something, or he's just memeing me. Like I don't.
I'd like to think it's just you're being memed.
That's fine.
And I approve.
As far as insults go, that's like totally reasonable. I don't know. Maybe he'll tell me what it means next week. Viking in a group of Vikings. Anyways, all right, that's all we got for you. We're gonna order some sandwiches, and we're gonna. I have a date with one of our locals that's gonna come in and help me play a bunch of games of Arisana. So that's exciting. Play a bunch of Cosmic Bolts and shit. So we're gonna go do that. We will see you in a couple of weeks. Kisses.
See you guys later.
We'll see you later.